Hey guys, how's it going? The C-Jack podcast. We're recording this on actual drop day. We're recording it on Wednesday. Normally we do a little bit before, but hey, shit happens. I was actually supposed to be having Mac and Bro on the podcast this week, but some shit happened. Didn't end up recording the podcast with them, so I'm just gonna bring it to you myself. We'll have to get those guys on some other time. Real cool cats. Very unique insight from those guys is, I guess, the right wording. I was really kind of wanting to get their insight on the Superstar shakeup that happened a couple weeks ago, and as well as the Greatest Royal Rumble. Man, that Greatest Royal Rumble, we're going to get into that a little bit more, but I'm just going to say right now, that was the biggest fucking flop of a show I'd ever fucking seen. I'm telling you right now. But as far as right now, I'm coming to you live in my apartment, and I'll tell you right now, it is hot as a motherfucker. I don't know what happened to the weather, where it went. 2 weeks ago, it was cold. I was freezing my ass off, and now I'm sitting here sweating my ass off. So, I guess you can't fucking win. That's Illinois for you, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the body of this podcast. Get the meat and potatoes, if you will. First, we're going to talk a little bit about Superstar Shakeup and which show became the A show after the initial shake-up draft, whatever you want to call it. To Raw, we got Jinder Mahal, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Zack Ryder, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, Natalya, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Connor, Victor, The Ascension, Bobby Roode, Mojo Rawley, Mike Kanellis, which some of you guys may not know that well. Maria used to be a diva years ago. She's actually his wife. He hasn't been seen a lot since coming to the main roster. Maybe he'll get a push now. And Chad Gable. Just looking at the initial Raw first part of the draft right there, not too bad, but, you know, it is what it is. Jinder Mahal, decent talent that Raw picked up from SmackDown. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn being on the same show again. I know they got that alliance thing right now. It's kind of working out for him to do. Sami Zayn's actually doing a very good job as a heel. So, I mean, that's some talent that Raw picked up. Zack Ryder, he's been around for a while. He's not too bad. Fandango and Breeze, tag team division. Add some new talent to that. Natalya and Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. That's some new talent for the women's roster. They're going to do some big things there, I hope. Maybe give Natalya the strap at some point. Bobby Roode is probably the best draft that Raw picked up. Not knocking into the other guys, but everybody knows how over Bobby Roode is and how glorious he is. So, I mean, really, if you think about it, that's really the best draft pick Raw picked up. Chad Gable breaking up American Alpha 2.0 with Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable may have been the right move. I don't know. I was kind of wanting to see him get a strap before they did, but everything happens for a reason. Maybe Chad Gable's going to go over to Raw and do some big things. He ain't disappointing too far. And Baron Corbin going to Raw, that's another decent talent. I just don't want him to end up being like a Roman Reigns and getting shoved down everybody's throat. Because as far as right now, I kind of like Baron Corbin. I love his gimmick. I love his persona. He's got that rock and roll biker persona, but I dig his gimmick. I'm just gonna say it like that. I dig his gimmick. I can kind of relate to his gimmick. It's a pretty raw gimmick as far as that goes. Drew McIntyre came in with Ziggler. They're kind of a unit right now. We'll kind of see what unfolds as far as that goes in the weeks to come. And really, that Mojo Rawley, I mean, I don't really have much to say about him. The Ascension, that they're a decent tag team to add to the division. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do. If they're going to be part of the tag team division or exactly what's going on with them. That one's still yet to be seen. But I mean, other than that, I mean, Raw didn't do too bad, but they didn't do too good either, if you know what I mean. Swig of Pepsi. All right, now let's move on to SmackDown, which, in my very humble opinion, has became the A++ show, if you dig. United States champion Jeff Hardy picked that up the initial first night of the draft, defeating Jinder Mahal, became U.S. champion. Jeff Hardy went straight to SmackDown, which means now we will not see the Hardy Boys on the same show for a while. Which, I mean, Matt Hardy's kind of doing his thing right now with Bray Wyatt, his Woken universe. Sorry, almost fucked up there and said broken, but WWE, it's Woken. So it is what it is. Bray Wyatt, I kind of like him being part of that universe. It's unfolding pretty good so far. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to SmackDown. Basically, they flip-flopped with the Riot Squad. Samoa Joe is now on SmackDown. Huge pickup for fucking SmackDown. That right there, if they weren't already without Joe, that just made them the fucking A+ show right there. Samoa Joe is one badass guy. I love his style. Glad to see he's back in the ring competing. Glad to see he fully recovered from his injuries. I just want to see him come in and tear some shit up and beat some ass, if you know what I mean. Big Cass is on SmackDown. I'm going to pause right there for a minute with Big Cass. I'm not liking what they're doing with his character as far as right now. They're trying to get him all over Bryan. And everybody just knows that Bryan and Miz need to have a feud. Everybody wants to see Bryan and Miz. So having him feud with Big Cass when Daniel Bryan first comes back and Cass first comes back, I don't see why they're doing this. Maybe there's something that's going to pay off later on. Like I said, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, but I have not seen Raw and SmackDown yet for this week. Maybe something happened this week that I'm not aware of right now. I'll discuss that next week if it so happens, and I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong. They're going hard on this, but normally when it comes to WWE, I can I can see what they're doing right and see what they're doing wrong, and 9 times out of 10, I'm normally right as far as my gut instinct and the way I'm thinking. At least I feel like I am. And I mean, I must not be too wrong because normally it's a popular decision of how the universe as a whole would feel. Asuka is on SmackDown, man. They just shook up the women's division right there on SmackDown. Asuka, she's had one loss in her career, and that was to Charlotte. The only thing they didn't do with Asuka that I really wish they would have at WrestleMania is when she lost, I wanted to see fucking Asuka turn heel. I wanted to see that loss just make Asuka snap and just be like, what? I can't lose. I'm Asuka. I'm the Empress. And just snap and start destroying Charlotte, start destroying everything. Maybe try to beat up the referee. I just wanted to see Asuka become straight heel at that point, and it didn't happen. Little disappointed from that. But maybe WWE's got bigger plans for Asuka. Maybe that was the right decision. I still haven't seen Asuka yet since WrestleMania, so I'm still trying to figure out what their plans for her are as far as right now. Are they kind of letting her subside for a little bit and then come back? Maybe that's what they're planning on doing. Maybe they're letting her take time off after her loss, and then maybe when she comes back, she's going to be healed. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Oh, hell yeah. We got a couple good brothers over on SmackDown now. And you better believe they are joining AJ Styles. The phenomenal AJ Styles, I might add. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I love seeing their face on the blue brand so much, along with their partner AJ. The only thing that would be a little bit better is I know we never had it happen in Japan, but Finn Balor, you want to come over to SmackDown and maybe we could get this club going right? Hello. But, right, as far as right now, we got the Good Brothers and AJ back on the same show. They were part of the Balor Club there for a while. And yes, that's right. I said Balor Club because I'm not going to fuck the name up just like Corey Graves did a few weeks ago and call them the Bullet Club, which almost, I'm sure, probably got in a lawsuit if they would have not have corrected that live on TV, because they're not allowed to mention the Bullet Club. I can mention any fucking name I want because I'm not employed by any of them, but that's the part of being your own employer that I so happen to enjoy. Cesaro and Sheamus is on SmackDown. They may shake up the tag team division over there. They got the Bludgeon Brothers going right now on SmackDown as far as tag champs. I would really like to see Cesaro and Sheamus start to come up the ranks and everything. They said that they've been saying for years, we set the bar because we are the bar. And I would really like to see them come up through the SmackDown ranks and just, annihilate every tag team in their path until they get to the Bludgeon Brothers. And then at one of these bigger pay-per-views, have the Bludgeon Brothers and Cesaro and Sheamus. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I'm starting to slur the C and the SH there together. Cesaro. I would like to see the bar face the Bludgeon Brothers. I think that would be excellent. I think it would be outstanding, and then to have the bar go on and win from the Bludgeon Brothers, finally throwing the Bludgeon Brothers, I think would be great booking right there. But it's yet to be seen. Let's see. Truth is on SmackDown Live. We haven't really seen R-Truth a lot, so it's kind of a thing. Maybe we'll see him more, maybe not. They always say Blue Brand's a land of opportunity. Well, Shane, Paige, why don't you give R-Truth a little opportunity to tell the truth? And that's another thing I forgot to mention. In case you don't know and you ain't really been keeping up, or you've just been fucking simply living under a rock, but you somehow happen to manage to find this podcast, I ain't even going to go into how that makes any sense because I know it really doesn't. But Paige is now she is now the general manager of SmackDown. She actually retired the first night of the draft on Raw and is the current SmackDown GM, which allowed Brandon Bryan to resign from being GM and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Also, they picked up The Miz. That was one that we needed to see happen. We needed to see Miz on SmackDown because, Daniel Bryan's on SmackDown, so we gotta have Miz and Bryan on the same show so they can feud, right? So let's see it happen. So as far as I'm concerned, my final verdict conclusion of the draft is this: SmackDown, without a doubt, the brand new A plus show. There ain't no questioning it. I mean, you've got Jeff Hardy on SmackDown, Samoa Joe, a couple Good Brothers, Cesaro, Sheamus, and then you already had Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and then you got Charlotte for the women's division. You have Asuka for the women's division. I mean, that's 90% of their A-plus players right there. Now, I'm going to go out now, and I'm going to say Raw has some good talent as well. They've got Braun Strowman. They've got Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Bobby Roode, and Finn Balor. And that's pretty much it. I'm not trying to dog anybody over there. I'm just saying, as far as amazing competitors, that's pretty much it. Those are the big names over on Raw now. SmackDown has become the A-plus show. I mean, as far as the women's division, yeah, they got Natalya. She's not as over as she should be. And you got Sasha Banks. Absolutely love Sasha Banks. Probably one of the best women performers, in my opinion. Which, as you guys know, I ain't afraid to let my opinion known. But that's my final verdict on the Superstar Shake-Up draft dealio. Let's move on to this whatever the nightmare shit show, whatever the hell you want to call it, the glorified house show of the greatest Royal Rumble. Man, there was so many fucking botches on this show. I don't even know where to begin. It was horrible. You had, first of all, if you guys didn't catch it, you had Jeff Hardy go up to do a whisper in the wind to fucking Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was still on the mat when Jeff Hardy jumps off. He stands up and then falls over. That is the worst botch ever, you would think. Then you had guys, and just in the Greatest Royal Rumble themselves, eliminating themselves. I don't even know where to go there. But I'm going to give you guys something to watch. You guys got to go back and watch the Greatest Royal Rumble. Just trust me on this. You got to go back and watch the Greatest Royal Rumble. The greatest moment in Royal Rumble history, period, happened on this event. You seen a big-ass Titus O'Neil come running down the ramp, and then they, WWE cameras were staying focused on entering action. Out of nowhere, then you see Titus getting up. You're like, what the? He was just running down the ramp. This dude, he tripped, and he fell, and he slid under the ring. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch it. It was the funniest shit ever. They have replayed this shit over and over and over again. Probably the greatest event ever to happen in a Royal Rumble, period. I could watch that all day. I think I'm probably going to start a... I think I'll try to get a GIF of that or something on my page just because it's so fucking funny. We'll have to talk to Cody and see what we can do about that. Other than that, I mean, then the other botch was the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match. Obviously, the cage was supposed to break. Obviously. I'm not sure if Roman Reigns was supposed to go out of it or not. That I'm not sure. But I have a feeling Brock Lesnar was actually supposed to land further down because his feet didn't touch the floor. His back touched the floor with a fucking thud, but his feet didn't touch the floor. And now there's so much controversy over that because everybody knows by those rights, Roman Reigns should be champion now because Roman Reigns' feet touched the floor first. WWE, you can't go making your own fucking rules just because the match ended up botched. Not my fault, not your fault, not the competitor's fault. Shit doesn't always work out the way it needs to be. But facts are facts. Just so everybody was clear of the rules before the match started, Michael Cole even went over the rules. And he said, and I'm going to do the little Michael Cole, and I quote, this match can only be won by pin, submission, or escaping the cage. And whoever's feet touch the floor first will be declared the winner. The first person's feet that touched the floor was Roman Reigns. Because when he gave the spear and it broke the cage, Brock Lesnar's back went landing, of course, with a thud onto the floor. His feet were elevated. Roman Reigns rolled off of him, and his feet hit the floor first by default. By all rights, Roman Reigns is champion, as far as I'm concerned, and over half of the WWE universe is concerned. Roman Reigns is the rightful champion. So give Reigns the strap. I mean, I like Reigns, but there's even people that fucking hate Reigns that are saying he's supposed to be champion. What the fuck, guys? Come on. Give Reigns the damn strap. They tried fucking covering it up a little bit on Monday Night Raw, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I know I kind of noticed some little tidbits that happened on Raw just because internet, you know. Of course, I know all about the internet because I'm on it. And now I just kind of give my overall thoughts on the entire match and the entire pay-per-view as a whole. There's a lot of controversy on the fact that they were even over in Saudi Arabia to begin with, because of the fact that Saudi Arabia's cultures aren't equal to us over here in the good old US of A. As far as the women and everything else, there's a lot of fucking controversy going on in whether they should have even been over there, because the women could not go over there and compete and everything. And there's some people saying, well, they're trying to push this women division so hard, but yet they're going to do a whole show where a woman can't even compete and they can't even be seen in the back. I understand that, but I also look at it from this way. Vince is a businessman, and a businessman does what's going to get sales. They had a lot of people show up to that event. Vince McMahon got the most he's probably ever made at a normal pay-per-view. Hell, possibly a WrestleMania. I don't know what he grosses for WrestleMania. I will do some research and get back to you guys on that next week. But Vince McMahon got a huge payload off of that. He got $200 million just for fucking going over there. But here's the thing. He's already talking about going over there for another event. Let's think about this for a second. You're pushing the women's division. You're trying to say you don't even call them divas anymore. You call them women, which, you know, all fair rights I agree with. But you're trying to push this division. You're trying to say that they deserve, that they have equal rights as the men, and you're putting them in more matches, more different types of matches, like cage matches, table matches, TLC matches, and you're finally doing that. But now let's take about 10 steps back and go to a country that won't even allow our fucking women to compete. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the payoff. I understand that. And I understand Vince is a businessman, and it would be stupid for him not to go over there. But at the same point, I don't know. It's a very controversial thing. I understand both parts, and per se, I don't really know what to think as far as the whole thing, because I see both sides, so I don't have a set opinion on they should do it or no they shouldn't. I'm just going to basically say this: at the end of the day, business is business, and Vince is a businessman. He's going to do what's going to sell tickets and what's going to get him sales and what's going to make him money. And if he has to go over to Saudi Arabia, where the cultures are a little bit different over there, then that's what he's going to have to do. I mean, wrestling as a whole is not as big as it used to be, and the demographic is so... it's just not there. It's just so minimal. Because the average fan base for wrestling nowadays is male 53 and up. Or 53 and under, sorry. I remember back in the Attitude Era where their average fan base was males 18 to 34. What the hell happened within the past 10, 20 years to where the fan base went to the average is 53? It is now like, I think it's like 45 to 53 or some shit like that. It's somewhere around there, or 35 to 53 or something like that. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. The problem is they're not getting any new fucking fans. They're doing this shit to where they're not gaining fans. They had the same fans as they always had, and the fans are getting old and it's literally dying off. That is the problem. Their fans are getting old and dying, and they're not getting any new ones. That is why the demographic has gone up in age, because their original fan base has gotten older, which happens. So here's what they needed to do. They need to, and this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to appeal to kids to lower their fan base. But here's the thing. They try to appeal to kids so much that it turns the older adults off. And then, no, I'm not even going to go into this right now, because this is a whole nother podcast all in its own, and I don't want to debate myself. So I'm going to go on a silence right now as far as this goes, and we will debate this at some point when I have Mac and Bro sat down with me, because I really want to hear their side of things on this. That sounds like some good podcasting right there. So until you know what, I almost forgot. You know what? Hang on for a second, guys. I got to give you guys some advertising. All right, now it's time to do some advertising. We'll do some advertising, then we'll wrap this podcast up and get you guys on your way. All right, got the initial advertiser here, the first ever advertiser for the C-Jack podcast. I'm saying advertiser. First ever sponsor. Let me correct myself there. The first sponsor of the C-Jack podcast. We got KCC Design Co. He is actually my personal photographer and graphic designer. This cat's stuff, it is so wild. He is such a professional at the way he does it, and he's fast too. Let me tell you, you guys got a small deadline. As long as it's realistic, hit this cat up, and he will set you straight. He will get it to you on time every time, and I don't know how much more to praise the guy. But if you want the same kind of quality and kick-ass designs and photography as C-Jack has here on the C-Jack podcast, well, do ya? Hit up Cody Stevenson's at kccdesignco.com. That's Cody Stevenson. Cody Stevenson with a PH SON at kccdesignco.com. He is a photographer and a designer. You got a wedding coming up, hit old Cody up. He'll come shoot your wedding. Graduation's right around the corner. You guys are going to need somebody to take them graduation pics. Hit up Cody. And for my listeners, anybody that gives the code CJACK to Cody, you guys get 15% off your order. Your first order, you guys get 15% off of. Whether it's some designing, whether it's some photography, or a little bit of both, 15% off of your first order. That's Cody's nice little hand extension, extending the olive branch to my listeners. So hit up Cody Stevenson at kccdesignco.com. And if you want his phone number, give him a call at 309-826-9957. That is Cody Stevenson. He is located in Galesburg, Illinois. For those of you that don't know, now you know. But he is willing to travel, but he as long as his expenses are paid for, he will do anything. He will shoot anything within reason. Within reason. Don't be hitting him up for your little I'm not even going to go there. You know what I'm talking about. Don't be hitting him up for those. But KCC Design Co. Cody Stevenson, he will come shoot your graduation, shoot your wedding. Dude is a phenomenal photographer, phenomenal graphic designer. I can't even fucking talk. Graphic designer. Hit him up. You can't go wrong. Tell him C-Jack sent you. All right, guys. That's it for the advertising for this week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I got my brand new YouTube channel hooked up. Actually, this is probably going to be other than the teaser, this is going to be the very first initial drop podcast on it. I got my Facebook hooked up. I got my Twitter hooked up, and I am now on Instagram. So hit me up on there. You can find all of them there at the top of the little page on the CJAC Podcast YouTube page. Give me a follow, like, subscribe, review, all that good shit. Have any questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter, or you can hit me up on my very personal, very public email at onlyoncjack@gmail.com. That is onlyoncjack@gmail.com. Twitter is at onlyoncjack. Facebook is onlyoncjack. Basically, anything you find me on it is going to be username onlyoncjack. So until next time, you guys hang in there. I'm C-Jack. I'll catch your ass later. Peace.